This is Eric and Mark, coming to you midweek with another Seesaw scenario. The writer writes, I've always felt like I was on the playground executive's radar, and not in a good way, but recently I have felt a strange silence on that front. Do you think that means that I am finally doing things in a way as to not seem in competition with the executive? Or could it be the silence before the storm? What can I do to test the waters? Full disclosure, I don't talk to many people at work anymore, and kind of just do my own thing. Stay in my own lane, so to speak. How say you, Mark? Is this writer onto something?
So if we're talking specifically about the workplace, and I really like this question because it gets to the heart of the matter. It speaks to a lot of what we've been talking about in terms of how we feel and perceive the playground and the phenomenon itself, right? So we have a large part of our existence in general. I'm going to get philosophical on you in a second, or for a second, is that, there's the physicality of things, but then and what happens, events and that kind of thing. But then there's a large part of it is our perception of those events, how we experience life, how we experience the playground by extension. In this situation, let's specifically talk about the workplace. In general, my experience has been that with an executive, if you're not high on their radar, it's probably a good thing. It means you're kind of going about your business, doing your own thing. They don't feel the need to go ahead and manage you or micromanage you, that kind of thing. If you are higher on their radar, it could be a good thing if you're up for a promotion or if you're working on a project together or if they want to give you more responsibility. So in those specific, or maybe you're up for a raise or promotion, any number of things. So in those cases, situationally, it can be a good thing. But I would say in general, the employees that are high on an employer's or an executive's radar in a workplace, not usually a good thing. Not generally a good thing, because again, that means that they feel the need to manage you or monitor you or micromanage you or any number of things. So at the same time, I do remember some things that I was brought up with in terms of work ethic and how to behave in the workplace and everything, because I was kind of raw, I guess you could say. So what ended up happening was that I would think that, I better go ahead and ask for some feedback and ask them for some areas where I should improve and that kind of thing. Well, I noticed that I got, in general, if I didn't solicit feedback or ask where I could improve and that kind of thing, then in general, I seem to have done pretty well at most jobs. However, when I asked that question, hey, can you give me some feedback on my performance? How am I doing? Can I do more? Can I stay later? Can I do this? Can I do that? It's kind of like there's a certain degree of submission about it, which I guess on some level could work in certain scenarios, especially in corporate structures. But in general, it seems for me, at least in my experience, to have elicited or triggered some negative responses for the most part when I ask for that feedback outright. So in general, I think that maybe situationally you can ask, hey, is there something specific that I can improve in? And maybe that's a good thing to ask a peer or maybe like a technical lead, like, hey, what kind of areas do you think it's important to be to be successful in this job, or just from one person to another. Where do you think that I can improve? Where do you think I could really solidify? What areas do you think is to focus on, like a work friend or work peer or whatever? If you're bringing those kind of questions to a manager, again, depends on their timing, depends on their mood, depends on the day. It's just any number of things, and you're kind of playing with a wild card there. And I think that I've been told, again, for the most part, by my father, in fact, if you are in a business environment, in a work environment, and you're not being contacted much by your manager, by an executive type, then you're probably doing your job, and they probably have no reason to go ahead and to disturb your workflow or to put extra effort into managing you. Probably means you're doing something right. Again, if you want a promotion and if you want more responsibility, again, situationally, you're going to want some attention. You don't want to be overlooked for promotion because you're too low on somebody's radar. So again, depends on what you're doing. But in general, if you're trying to just keep a job par for the course, quiet is a good thing from their standpoint anyway, especially if they want you to be in kind of a submissive role, which, again, I know that sounds bad, but that's how the corporate hierarchy is set up in a lot of cases, who reports to who. What are your thoughts?